Hi, I'm Kevin Myers, the editor-in-chief of Texas News PrimeTime, and I beta tested Post, the civilized Twitter alternative. You're watching a Primetime Opinion. That means this is not objective reporting. Instead, it's my stance, and it might be different from other members of Texas News PrimeTime, so it's not necessarily reflective of the entire organization. Please enjoy. For the first time in a number of years, there appears to be an opening in the social media landscape. Elon Musk's acquisition and tenure at Twitter have been marred by controversy and chaos, culminating in his recent announcement that he would be stepping aside as the platform's CEO. This has left many who've been at odds with his content moderation policies and his inconsistent application of those policies to search for a new microblogging platform. Enter Post, a Twitter alternative founded by former Waze CEO Noam Bardeen that's received funding from venture capitalist firm A16Z, also involved in the Elon Musk acquisition of Twitter, as well as NYT professor and tech commentator Scott Galloway. They also have Kara Swisher, a tech podcaster, on board as an advisor, though she hasn't announced that she's formally invested in the company as of yet. The beta for the platform opened on November 14th, and it's similar to platforms like Tribal and Gab, except instead of catering to a left-wing or right-wing audience, Post bills itself as a platform based on accurate information, expert opinion, and stricter content moderation policies than you might see on other platforms. It's also currently still in a limited beta, which means that if you go to try to sign up now, you're going to have to get on a wait list, and Post's leadership says they're doing this in order to prevent content moderation systems from being overwhelmed by a surge of users entering the platform, as well as to verify each user's identity as they come onto the platform. As of right now, you can sign up to be on the wait list, and they'll give you a referral link, which you can post elsewhere, although not on Twitter. And if you get 5 people to sign up using your referral link, you'll be able to skip the line. In a post on December 22nd, Bardeen announced that they had over 600,000 users on their wait list, with 300,000 users already onboarded to the platform. So what's it like on the platform? Well, if you're familiar with Twitter, this will feel very similar, except there's a number of limitations, largely based on the fact that this platform is only a few weeks old. First, there's no mobile app available on Apple App Store or Google Play just yet. There's a website that does have a button that says Install App. However, all this actually does is create a shortcut of the website on your phone's home screen. There's also no desktop version of the website available just yet, so you'll be viewing an enlarged version of the website if you choose to see it on your computer. There's no advanced interface akin to TweetDeck. There's no ability to create scheduled posts. There's also no ability to tag posts at specific users, edit posts, create polls, or bookmark posts for later. There's also no ability to direct message other users, and if you go to a profile page, you'll notice that you can't see the replies or media attached by a specific user just yet. Now, Post says that many of these features, some of which are quite basic to Twitter, are on their way, though there isn't an explicit timetable on when we will receive everything just yet. So what can you do then? Well, you can create posts, you can like other people's posts, you can reply to posts, and you can embed links to other websites, including competing social media platforms. You can also upload photos, but not videos just yet. Post also has some unique features. First of all, content reporting is very different on Post than on other platforms. My experience is largely with reporting content on Instagram, where it feels like you're just filling out a form that goes into the void and you have no idea if a human will ever review it. Likely will not. Post, by contrast, puts you in direct conversation with a support team dedicated to content moderation. There's also no clear character limit on Post, which means you can upload full-long news articles and opinion essays instead of just hot takes. There's also this interesting quote format tool, which I guess is good for quoting famous people. I haven't used that feature too much, and I wasn't able to find an equivalent on Twitter, though I did go looking. You can also buy points on the platform, which is rather unique, which allows you to tip other users' posts, similar almost to super chats on Twitch or YouTube Live, and you can also pay for access to unlock news articles. This leads us into a broader conversation about Post's business model, which many people, including myself, are somewhat skeptical of. Post doesn't run ads, like at all. If you're in the beta, go try to find one. They're not there on the platform. Instead, Post is designed around supporting journalism through the aforementioned points system. Now, through the system, you can either tip users on individual posts or pay to unlock individual news articles. This is a feature Post designed as a supplemental source of revenue for news organizations like the Washington Post and New York Times that normally charge a subscription fee in order to access their articles, because some users might want to read one opinion piece from the Washington Post, but don't want to pay $12 a month for it. Now, of course, Post takes a cut from this point system, which they use to support development of the platform. Now, there's big questions whether a paid model like this is sustainable. In the examples we have, the vast majority of users often choose not to pay into the system. Looking at YouTube as an example, a platform that is supported by ads for those who don't pay, there's about 2 billion monthly active users according to YouTube, but just 20 million monthly YouTube Premium paid subscribers. Now, that's a rather healthy number if you look at subscriber numbers in the streaming wars. However, that's a small fraction of the total users of the website. There's also big questions about whether Elon Musk's pivot away from an ad-supported model of Twitter towards Twitter Blue is sustainable. I mean, realistically, how many people want to pay just to be able to edit posts and have a little blue check mark next to their name? Now, to Post's credit, their model is rather unique. Instead of paying for features, you pay for content. And for many people already facing subscription fatigue, having one-time payments where you can control the amount of money you're putting into this platform could be quite appealing. So I think the biggest questions surrounding Post's uniqueness, from the different content moderation policies to the fact that there's a wait list just to get on the site, is how does that actually affect the environment once you're on Post? Well, from my experience, it's a lot calmer than Twitter. There's less incendiary posts made on the platform, and the comments aren't quite the same cesspool that they are on Twitter. And some of that might be due to the waitlist where they actually verify users before they get on, so the comments aren't just filled with bots trolling you. Some of it might be due to the fact that the moderation policies are much stricter and people who post crazy things get banned. It's probably some combination of the two, and some of it might just be due to the fact the platform is still small and targets a specific subset of people. One thing I've noticed is you also get a much wider variety of content fed to you on Post. This is something I've noticed between Twitter, because Twitter has clearly pegged me as a politics and news junkie, so that's all I get in my feed. Whereas on Post, where your feed by default is based off of people you follow, gives you a much wider variety of content. It really feels like what I would assume Twitter was like in the early days. I was in elementary school when Twitter launched, so I can't know for sure. But what I can say is you do feel the difference in content moderation when you're on the site. Now, one thing I have noticed is, even though personally I don't think I follow that many explicitly political accounts that lean one way or the other for an algorithm to peg me as a liberal or a conservative, I do feel that the majority of the explicitly political posts I've been fed are anti-Trump or anti-GOP more broadly. There's also, of course, a ton of outrage at Elon Musk and the decisions he's made during his time at Twitter on Post as well. Now, this is something where someone might look at the platform and use it to make unfounded claims that Post is censoring conservative voices. But I think the explanation for what's going on here is far simpler. If you could indulge me in a metaphor for a moment, I think Post is one of a handful of lifeboats for those that view Twitter as a sinking ship. And those that view Twitter as a sinking ship are likely going to be people who are anti-MAGA conservatives and anyone left of them on the political spectrum. Those on the far right who took delight in controversial moves like reinstating former President Trump's account or Elon Musk endorsing the Republican Party ahead of the midterms likely aren't going to view Twitter as a sinking ship and would have no need for a lifeboat like Post at all. Also, I think a lot of this is going to be just based on the fact that there is a wait list to get on the platform at all, which is going to create a lot of frictions that only the most tech savvy or the most determined users, because they really don't like Elon Musk, are going to be the people who make it onto the platform at all. Now, while the community on Post is friendlier than Twitter, it's unsurprisingly also a lot smaller. Most big news organizations aren't on the platform yet, although Post has taken the interesting tactic of parking handles for big news organizations like the Washington Post and allowing users to follow them before they've officially arrived on the platform, which seems to be a move to advertise to these big outlets, hey look, you have 50,000 followers on Post. We are a platform worth investing your time and resources in. There are a couple notable names already on Post. USA Today was recently spotted getting their account set up, although they haven't posted anything yet. And NBC News and Reuters appear to already be maintaining a similar feed of content to what you would find from them on Twitter. As of right now, it's hard to know Post's future. It has seen significant uptick in users on the platform as well as on the waitlist, but it's still in beta. Mastodon, a competing service, seems to have seen the most significant growth in light of the turbulence over at Twitter. It's out of beta, it's been around for a few years now, and it currently has over 2.5 million monthly active users across its 8,600 servers on the decentralized network. Now, decentralized is the key term here because the platform is very different from a conventional service like Post. It's almost more akin to email, where someone with an account with Gmail could easily send a message to someone on Outlook. On Mastodon, someone who is on the first-party mastodon.social server could create a post that someone on a different server, run by a different company, could view. Now, this is an interesting concept because it gives the user greater choice over who to entrust their data to and what sort of content moderation policies they're willing to adhere to. Ultimately, I think this decentralized system does propose some conceptual barriers for less tech-savvy users looking to get into a new service. Post, by contrast, as a more conventional service, doesn't have this problem. And from my experience, Post does seem to deliver on the promise of Twitter without the toxicity. Going forward, though, one of the biggest projects for Post is going to be attracting a broader audience with a wider set of tastes. First of all, I think Post does need more conservative voices on the platform. We need a digital town square where people of various perspectives can communicate in a civil manner. Post has a civility, which is great, but it doesn't have the ideological diversity it needs to truly be representative of the country and the world we live in. Additionally, I think it needs to expand beyond the niches of government and politics that it currently seems to exist in. I want to see beauty influencers on the platform. I want to see tech bros on the platform. I want to see business, finance. I want to see entertainment personalities on the platform so that it can truly be a digital town square. So you're probably asking yourself now, should I use Post? Should I leave Twitter? I have a few questions for you to help guide you in that decision-making process. Do you long for the early days of Twitter before it was just political shouting matches? Are you part of a marginalized community in search of a safe space to have discussions with people like you? Do you have the patience to handle the limited feature set and bugs that come from a platform still in beta? And do new technologies excite you? If you answered yes to one or multiple of those questions, then I think you should check out Post and maybe some of the other Twitter alternatives out there as well.